think it's a stretch to say most INFPs hate parties. They're events with lots of people, loud music, copious amounts of small talk, and did I mention lots of people? I've heard people make the joke that hell will be like a party, and to me, that makes hell seem infinitely worse. I will gladly take the fire and brimstone any day over small talk with a stranger. So I've decided I'll give you my 3 tips on how to deal with the plague that is party. The most obvious way to deal with parties is to simply avoid them. The easiest way is to simply not have any friends. If you don't have any friends, they can't invite you to parties, you see? But that's also kind of boring. So I say have other introvert friends who also hate parties, or online friends who live on other sides of the country. But even then, sometimes you'll be invited by a coworker or family member or whatever. So in that case, you need an excuse. Things like mandatory overtime and having a proctologist appointment are good options. You see, no one's gonna ask you about a proctologist appointment. Or maybe you have to study for a big test or work on a year-end project. You'll be amazed at how many INFPs take summer classes that they've never even told you about. Unfortunately, sometimes it's impossible and you have to go to a party. So in that case, you want to limit the amount of time at the party. One option, of course, is to be as late as humanly possible. Simply saying you got lost and your GPS got borked is a pretty good excuse. Now, sometimes this doesn't work. Like, for example, if they're your best friend and you've been to their house countless times, or they're your neighbor. In that case, my go-to method is to simply say you were so excited to go to the party that you bumped your head on the doorway leaving and you got temporary amnesia and you got lost. I mean, they're not a doctor. They don't know if temporary amnesia is or isn't a thing. And what's wrong with being late anyway? Ever heard of fashionably late? And let's be honest, most INFPs are pretty darn fashionable. On top of arriving late, leaving early is another big tip. Simply come up with an excuse, like you left your water running on account of the temporary amnesia. You saw the bat signal and you're secretly Batman. Or your cousin got arrested for collecting rainwater again. All of these are good options. Another option, if you don't want to confront anyone, is to simply get a mannequin, tape your face to it, and leave it in the room. Now, you might think this sounds like a stupid idea, but if people are drunk enough, it might just work. And let's be honest, you weren't going to say anything anyway. Unfortunately, for the time when you're stuck, there isn't a lot you can do. It's like the purge night, you just need to wait it out. My only tip is don't sit on the couch. In fact, don't stay in one place for too long, otherwise the extroverts might see you. I haven't been to a party in forever. Let's try to keep that trend up. Anyway, if you like this video, check out my video on ways INFPs hide, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video.